Well, Greenwood is the soul of the world. I'm a 100% Mississippi Delta. I'm the youngest of 9 siblings, and I was raised on Money Road in the late 50s, early 60s, and this whole place just completely different now. It's great. It's a great place to live, a great place for me, and that's why I loved the Delta, so I stayed here. It just feels different. It's music oriented, and it just makes everybody feel good here in the Delta. It's the greatest place on earth. It's a community that helps one another. I do blues and civil rights tours, and I bring them to Greenwood. And when people come to Greenwood, they say, man, we're gonna have to set our clock back 200 years. But I said, no, Greenwood is just like New York City, exception Greenwood is better. I mean, because, Greenwood, everybody knows everybody. And, it just feels good here because when I take people downtown, they're going to say, speak to me, and they're going to speak to the peoples. Greenwood, just a different part of the world that you need to see. And Greenwood is ground zero for civil rights movement right here. Emmett Till, that's what started the civil rights movement, and Greenwood got a lot of people involved in the civil rights movement, and I've been working with this all my life, and I noticed a lot of white peoples help these peoples in the civil rights movement because they just made a difference. Because Bob Dylan was here, Stokely Carmichael was here, Dr. King was here, all these people was here, and they were saying this was the hottest place on earth right here. Dr. King said it was the hot spot. Stokely Carmichael said it's hot as hell. They call it the heat is on here in the Delta. They was marching down the street in 1966 because they was going to go across this track to go to Crystal Grill, and they was marching up and down the street. See, they trying to go to Crystal Grill right here to eat, and that's where they sprayed the water on and sick the dogs on right here in 1966. And we just had a rough time, and we made it through by the music. The music what brought us through because we didn't have no relief exception of the music. The music was part of the marching, even in this church. They would meet in Dr. King and Stokely Carmichael. They met in this church before. They always have music, always. Music just part of their DNA. It's important the world know how big a part that Greenwood played in the world. Because I see people all over the world got connection to Greenwood. I toured 50 kids last Saturday, and I was talking to them about the history of Greenwood and the history of the world. I said, man, see now I'm old, it's kind of sentimental. I just said, different attitude, but once you get old, like I am, knocking on 70 door, it gets sentimental. You say, man, oh man, oh man, wow. And, and that's why I think Greenwood is so important. I work with these museums, African American Museum in D.C., all over the world. I said, wow, these people's selling duplicates of what we got. And we here in the Delta, the stuff they did here was powerful. It still resonates. It's special. It's a special place.